Ladies and gentlemen, life throws challenges at us constantly. It is like the universe testing us to see how strong we are, how resilient we can be. Every challenge, every obstacle, and every setback is not just an inconvenience. It is an opportunity to develop a mind that is unshakable, a mind so strong that it can overcome anything life throws at it. But how do we build such a mind? How do we transform ourselves into people who do not just survive but thrive, who do not just go through the motions but face the storms head on with courage? A strong mind is not built overnight. It is like a muscle. The more we use it, the stronger it gets. It is not about avoiding pain or hardship, but about learning how to grow through it. It is about developing the ability to stand firm, no matter the circumstances. It is about embracing challenges as stepping stones rather than obstacles. Challenges are often seen as unwanted guests in our lives. We dread them, we resist them, and we try to avoid them at all costs. But what if I told you that challenges are not just obstacles to overcome? What if I told you that they are, in fact, the very things that shape us into who we are meant to be? We live in a world where comfort is often prioritized over growth. We strive for an easy life, one where things go smoothly, where everything is predictable. But that's not where true growth happens. Growth happens when things get tough. Growth happens when you face something that seems impossible and you keep going, even when it feels like the world is against you. It's in those moments when your strength is tested, when your character is built, that you truly discover who you are. Challenges teach us valuable lessons. They show us what we are capable of when we push ourselves beyond our limits. They teach us the importance of perseverance, resilience, and adaptability. When life throws a curveball at you, you have two choices. You can either run from it or you can face it head on. It is in the moments when you choose to face the challenge, when you choose to rise above it, that you discover your true power. When we encounter challenges, our first instinct is to protect ourselves, to run away from the discomfort, but avoiding challenges only leads to stagnation. We remain in the same place, stuck in the comfort zone, never growing, never evolving. On the other hand, when we embrace challenges, we learn to adapt. We become more resourceful, more innovative, and more confident in our abilities. We learn that we are not defined by our struggles, but by how we rise above them. Every challenge we face adds another layer to our strength. Whether it's a personal setback, a professional obstacle, or a life-changing event, each challenge provides us with an opportunity to grow. It's like building a muscle. At first it may hurt, and it may seem impossible to push through, but over time, the more you lift, the stronger you become. What makes a strong mind is not the absence of challenges, but the ability to navigate them with grace, with determination, and with an unwavering belief in oneself. The strongest minds are those that have faced the hardest challenges and emerged stronger on the other side. They are not immune to difficulty, but they know that difficulty is not the end. It is simply the beginning of something greater. When you understand the value of challenges, you begin to see them not as threats but as opportunities. Opportunities to prove to yourself just how capable you are. Opportunities to transform yourself into someone who can face anything and still stand tall. And that is the foundation of a strong mind, one that is not easily shaken, one that can weather any storm. Self-awareness is one of the most powerful tools we possess in life. It is the key to understanding our thoughts, emotions, behaviors, and how they influence the world around us. Without self-awareness, we are like ships sailing without a compass, drifting aimlessly, reacting to whatever comes our way. But with self-awareness, we gain control over our lives. We can make choices based on who we are and where we want to go. This clarity is what makes us resilient. When you understand yourself, you understand the true source of your strength. Resilience is not about being unshakable at all times. It's about having the ability to bounce back after experiencing setbacks, to rise after falling, and to keep moving forward even when life gets tough. But in order to be resilient, you must first know yourself. You must know what makes you tick, what your triggers are, and what your limits are. Understanding your strengths and weaknesses allows you to make more informed decisions, allowing you to cope better when life throws challenges your way. Self-awareness is the foundation of emotional intelligence. It allows you to recognize and understand your emotions before they control you. For example, when you are angry, frustrated, or anxious, being self-aware means you recognize these emotions and acknowledge them without letting them take over. Instead of reacting impulsively, you can respond thoughtfully, choosing a course of action that aligns with your values and goals. This level of emotional control is crucial for building resilience. It helps you avoid spiraling into negativity when things go wrong, and instead helps you maintain a sense of calm, clarity, and focus. Knowing yourself also means understanding how your past experiences shape your present behavior. Everyone has a story, a history that informs their actions and choices. These experiences, whether positive or negative, influence how we see the world and how we respond to adversity. Self-awareness allows you to identify the patterns in your behavior and thought processes. It enables you to break free from old habits and make new, more empowering choices. When you are aware of how your past affects your present, you gain the power to change your future. Self-awareness also allows you to embrace your flaws and imperfections without judgment. We all have weaknesses and no one is perfect. Being self-aware means accepting those imperfections and learning to work with them rather than letting them define us. For example, if you know that you struggle with procrastination, being self-aware means recognizing it and taking steps to address it before it becomes a bigger problem. Instead of beating yourself up for not being perfect, you learn to acknowledge your mistakes, learn from them, and move forward with greater wisdom. In addition, self-awareness helps you build healthier relationships. When you understand your own needs, desires, and boundaries, you can communicate them more effectively to others. This creates mutual understanding and respect, which are essential for strong, resilient relationships. On the flip side, when we are unaware of our own needs and emotions, we may find ourselves overwhelmed by others' expectations or feeling disconnected from those around us. Self-awareness ensures that we are in tune with our own feelings, which makes it easier to connect with others on a deeper level. Resilience comes from the confidence that, no matter what happens, you know who you are and what you stand for. You are no longer at the mercy of life's uncertainties because you have a solid foundation within yourself. Life may throw curveballs, but when you are self-aware, you can see them coming and adjust accordingly. You become more adaptable, more resourceful, and better equipped to handle whatever comes your way. Self-awareness doesn't eliminate the challenges or struggles in life, but it gives you the tools to deal with them in a more mindful, focused, and empowered way. The process of becoming more self-aware is ongoing. It requires reflection, honesty, and a willingness to grow. It is about asking yourself tough questions, being open to feedback, and constantly evolving. But the more you practice self-awareness, the more resilient you become. You start to realize that no matter how difficult life gets, you have everything within you to rise above it. You know who you are, and you trust in your ability to overcome anything that comes your way. And that in itself is one of the strongest foundations for building a mind that is unshakable, resilient, and ready for whatever life brings. Discipline is the cornerstone of building mental strength. Without discipline, our efforts are scattered, our goals remain unachieved, and our minds remain weak. Mental strength, unlike physical strength, is not something that is built in an instant. It requires daily commitment, consistency, and the courage to keep pushing forward even when the world is trying to hold you back. Discipline is what keeps you on track when motivation fades. It is the quiet force that drives you even when you don't feel like moving. It is the routine that you follow even when you're not in the mood, because you understand the bigger picture. Mental strength is about control. It is about the ability to control your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. This level of control doesn't come naturally. It is earned through discipline. Discipline is what trains you to make decisions that are in line with your long-term goals rather than short-term desires. It's easy to give in to the temptation to take shortcuts, to procrastinate, or to quit when things get tough. But discipline teaches you to push through those moments, to stay focused on what truly matters, and to do the hard work that others are unwilling to do. It's about doing the right thing even when no one is watching, especially when no one is watching. Building mental strength requires developing the habit of sticking to your commitments. It's easy to make a plan, to say you'll do something, but it takes discipline to follow through on those promises. Every day, you wake up and choose to keep your commitments, no matter how difficult or tiring it may seem. Over time, this becomes a part of who you are. The more you practice discipline, the stronger your mental muscles become. Each act of discipline builds upon the last, creating a foundation of resilience that cannot be easily shaken. Discipline also teaches you how to handle discomfort. Mental strength is not built in comfort zones. It's built in moments of discomfort, struggle, and adversity. Whether you're pushing through a tough workout, facing a difficult decision, or enduring a period of hardship, discipline is what keeps you going. Instead of avoiding discomfort, you learn to embrace it, knowing that it is the key to growth. When you feel the urge to quit, discipline tells you to keep going. When you feel like giving up, discipline whispers to you that success is on the other side of your discomfort. It is in these moments of pushing through discomfort that your mental strength is forged. Discipline also involves managing your energy. It's about knowing when to rest and when to work. A disciplined person understands the value of rest and recovery. They understand that rest is not a sign of weakness but an essential part of the process. Mental strength doesn't mean working yourself to exhaustion without taking time to recharge. It means knowing when to take a break and when to push harder. Discipline teaches you to find balance, to avoid burning out, and to pace yourself for the long haul. Another vital aspect of discipline is consistency. Mental strength is not something that can be built through occasional effort. It requires consistency. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it. It's about making progress, no matter how small. Consistency is what turns small actions into significant results. It is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who give up halfway. When you are disciplined, you keep showing up even on the hard days, knowing that each effort adds up to something greater. When you develop the discipline to stay focused on your goals, even when it feels like progress is slow, you start to develop a mindset that cannot be easily shaken. You become someone who doesn't quit when things get tough. You become someone who is willing to do the work, no matter how difficult, because you understand that discipline is what will carry you to success. A strong mind doesn't just appear overnight. It is built over time with daily practice and dedication. And discipline is the tool that sharpens that mind. It is the key that unlocks your potential and allows you to achieve things that others would never even attempt. By making discipline a part of your daily life, you begin to transform not just your actions, but your very mindset. You begin to see challenges as opportunities to grow, discomfort as a sign of progress, and hard work as a pathway to strength. Discipline is not easy, but it is the price you pay for greatness. And when you embrace discipline, you develop a mental strength that will carry you through any storm. Emotions are a natural part of being human. They color our experiences, shape our relationships, and influence the decisions we make. Yet, the problem arises when we allow our emotions to take control of our lives. Emotional resilience is the ability to feel deeply, to experience the full spectrum of human emotions, but not let them govern our actions. It is the capacity to understand, acknowledge, and process our emotions without being overwhelmed by them. In a world that is constantly throwing challenges our way, emotional resilience is what allows us to navigate life's storms without losing ourselves in the process. Life is full of highs and lows, and emotions are a reflection of those ups and downs. Sometimes we feel elated and on top of the world, other times we may feel defeated, angry, or heartbroken. It is during the low points that emotional resilience becomes most critical. When life is challenging, it is easy to get lost in negative emotions, anger, frustration, sadness, or fear. These emotions can consume us, clouding our judgment and distorting our reality. However, emotional resilience teaches us not to let these feelings define us or control our actions. Instead of letting them dictate how we behave or how we see the world, emotional resilience allows us to take a step back, gain perspective, and respond from a place of clarity. Being emotionally resilient does not mean suppressing emotions or pretending they do not exist. It is not about avoiding pain or ignoring feelings of sadness or frustration. In fact, emotional resilience is built through the healthy expression of emotions. It means acknowledging what you feel, understanding why you feel that way, and then choosing how to move forward. It's about giving yourself the space to process difficult emotions and finding ways to cope with them in a productive manner. This process may involve talking to someone, journaling, meditating, or simply taking a few moments to breathe and reflect. What is important is that you don't let your emotions control you or keep you stuck in a negative state. Resilient people understand that emotions are temporary. They come and go like waves, and they know that no matter how intense the feeling may be in the moment, it will eventually pass. This awareness allows them to ride the waves of emotion without being dragged under by them. They don't see their emotions as threats, but as signals that need to be understood. For example, if you feel angry, instead of letting that anger dictate your behavior, you take a moment to reflect on the cause of your anger. What triggered this emotion? Is it something external, or is it tied to something within yourself? Once you understand the root cause, you can make a conscious decision on how to respond in a way that aligns with your values and goals. Another aspect of emotional resilience is learning to manage stress. Life can be overwhelming at times, and it is easy to feel like everything is happening all at once. However, resilient people don't crumble under pressure. Instead, they find healthy ways to manage stress and keep it from overwhelming them. They recognize that stress is a natural part of life, but they do not let it control their actions or rob them of their peace of mind. Whether it's through exercise, mindfulness, or engaging in activities that bring joy, emotionally resilient individuals know how to take care of their mental and emotional health. One of the key components of emotional resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks. Everyone faces failure, disappointment, and rejection at some point in life. These experiences can be painful, but emotionally resilient people do not allow them to define their worth. They see failure as a lesson, not as a permanent state of being. They understand that setbacks are a part of the journey, and they use them as opportunities to learn and grow. Instead of staying stuck in self-pity or regret, they focus on what they can control and take proactive steps to move forward. Emotional resilience also involves having a positive outlook on life. This does not mean that resilient people ignore the difficulties they face, but it means they choose to focus on what they can be grateful for, even in the hardest times. Gratitude helps shift the focus from what is going wrong to what is going right. It is this shift in perspective that enables emotionally resilient people to maintain a sense of hope and optimism, no matter what challenges they may be facing. They understand that while they cannot control everything that happens to them, they can control how they respond to it. Emotional resilience helps us build stronger relationships. When we are emotionally resilient, we are better equipped to handle conflicts, misunderstandings, and difficult conversations. We don't react impulsively or let emotions dictate how we interact with others. Instead, we take the time to listen, understand, and communicate thoughtfully. Emotional resilience allows us to be more compassionate, empathetic, and patient with others, which in turn strengthens our connections and fosters healthier, more supportive relationships. Being emotionally resilient is not about being immune to hardship or feeling numb to pain. It is about acknowledging and embracing the full range of human emotions while maintaining control over how those emotions affect us. It is the ability to weather the storms of life with grace, to keep moving forward even when things seem uncertain, and to emerge stronger on the other side. The people we surround ourselves with play a crucial role in shaping our mindset. Whether we realize it or not, our environment influences our thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors. It is often said that we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. This is not just a catchy phrase, it holds a deep truth about human nature. The individuals we interact with regularly have the power to either elevate us or hold us back. They can either encourage us to strive for greatness or drag us down into complacency and negativity. The right people are those who believe in us, even when we don't believe in ourselves. They are the ones who see our potential, who challenge us to do better, and who inspire us to keep pushing forward. These are the people who support us during tough times, celebrate our victories, and provide constructive feedback when we need it. They don't shy away from telling us the truth, even when it's hard to hear, because they want us to grow. Having such individuals in our lives is invaluable. They act as mirrors, reflecting our strengths and helping us see things about ourselves that we might otherwise miss. They help us gain clarity about who we are and who we are meant to be. On the other hand, the wrong people can have a destructive impact on our mindset. Negative, toxic individuals can drain our energy, cloud our judgment, and limit our potential. These are the people who criticize us without offering solutions, who mock our ambitions, or who discourage us from pursuing our goals. They often project their own insecurities and fears onto us, making us doubt our abilities and question our worth. Over time, if we allow these individuals to influence us, we begin to internalize their negativity. We start to believe that we are not capable of achieving our dreams, or that we are not good enough. This kind of mindset is a dangerous trap because it stops us from even trying. It paralyzes us with fear and self-doubt, leaving us stuck in a cycle of mediocrity. In addition to their words and actions, the energy that people bring into our lives is also important. Some people radiate positivity and enthusiasm, making us feel motivated and inspired to take action. Their presence lifts us up, helping us believe that anything is possible. In contrast, others bring an energy of negativity and defeat, making us feel like our dreams are out of reach. This emotional influence can be subtle but powerful. It affects how we view the world, how we approach challenges, and how we see ourselves. The right people are those who lift us higher, while the wrong people can make us feel small and insignificant. It's also important to note that the right people don't just support us when we are successful. They stand by us when we are struggling. They don't abandon us in our moments of weakness, but instead they offer a helping hand, a listening ear, and the encouragement we need to keep going. Their belief in us is unwavering, even when we lose faith in ourselves. This kind of support is essential for building resilience and mental strength. It reminds us that we are not alone in our journey, and that we have people who genuinely care about our well-being and success. Moreover, the right people can provide us with valuable knowledge, skills, and experiences that we may not have access to on our own. They can mentor us, share their wisdom, and help us navigate obstacles that we might otherwise struggle to overcome. They push us to think outside the box, to expand our horizons, and to grow in ways that we never thought possible. These individuals are the ones who challenge us to step out of our comfort zones and face our fears. They help us break through the limitations that we place on ourselves, opening up new possibilities and opportunities for growth. It's not just about having the right people in our lives. It's also about being the right person for others. The influence we have on those around us is just as significant. If we want to build a strong, resilient mindset, we must also contribute positively to the lives of others. We must be the kind of person who supports, encourages, and uplifts those we care about. We must be willing to share our experiences, offer guidance, and provide a safe space for others to grow. When we do this, we create a network of mutual support and positivity where everyone can thrive. The people we surround ourselves with either contribute to or detract from our mindset. The right people help us build mental strength, resilience, and confidence, while the wrong people can hold us back, limit our potential, and prevent us from reaching our goals. By choosing wisely and surrounding ourselves with individuals who inspire, challenge, and support us, we set ourselves up for success. And as we grow and develop, we must also be mindful of the impact we have on others, creating a cycle of positivity and growth that benefits everyone involved. A strong mind is not just one that is mentally tough or emotionally resilient. It is one that is driven by a clear vision and a strong sense of purpose. Vision and purpose are the foundation upon which a resilient mindset is built. Without them, it's easy to feel lost, disconnected, and adrift, struggling to find motivation or direction. With vision and purpose, however, every action becomes intentional, and every step moves us closer to becoming the person we are meant to be. Vision is what gives us clarity about where we want to go in life. It's the ability to see the future clearly and imagine the life we want to create. A strong vision goes beyond day tasks and short-term goals. It provides a roadmap for the bigger picture. It is the dream that we are working toward, the destination we are striving for. A person with vision wakes up every day with a sense of direction. They know exactly where they are headed and why they are on that journey. Vision is not just about achieving a particular outcome. It's about having a sense of purpose in everything you do. It transforms ordinary actions into purposeful steps toward a greater goal. Purpose, on the other hand, is the reason behind that vision. It is the deep, intrinsic motivation that drives us to pursue our dreams, even when the path is tough. While vision provides direction, purpose gives us the energy and resilience to stay on course, no matter what obstacles come our way. Purpose is what fuels our passion, what keeps us going when things get hard, and what makes our journey meaningful. A person with purpose doesn't just act for the sake of achievement. They act because they believe in something greater than themselves. They understand that their actions have a deeper meaning and that every struggle is worth it because it brings them closer to fulfilling that purpose. Without vision and purpose, it's easy to get distracted by the chaos of life. We become reactive instead of proactive, constantly responding to whatever comes our way without a clear sense of direction. But when we have a vision and purpose, we begin to filter out distractions. We can prioritize what truly matters and let go of what doesn't align with our goals. Every decision we make becomes aligned with our vision and purpose. and we become more intentional in how we spend our time and energy. The power of vision and purpose is not just in the destination, but in the journey itself. Having a strong sense of purpose helps us to persevere when things get tough. Life is not always easy, and there will inevitably be times when we face setbacks, failures, or challenges that seem insurmountable. But when we have a clear purpose, we know that these obstacles are simply a part of the process. They are not the end of the road, but rather a necessary part of the journey toward our vision. Purpose gives us the strength to keep going, even when it feels like the world is working against us. It reminds us that our struggles are temporary and that there is something bigger waiting for us on the other side. Furthermore, vision and purpose bring a sense of fulfillment that cannot be achieved through external accomplishments alone. While success and recognition can feel rewarding, they are often fleeting. True fulfillment comes from knowing that we are working towards something that aligns with our values and beliefs. When we have a clear sense of purpose, we feel more connected to ourselves and to the world around us. We begin to see how our efforts contribute to something greater than our individual goals. This sense of fulfillment creates a deep inner peace, knowing that we are living authentically and purposefully. Having a vision also helps us navigate difficult choices. When faced with tough decisions, a person with a strong vision can evaluate options based on how they align with their long-term goals. This clarity removes the uncertainty and doubt that often cloud our judgment and helps us make choices with confidence. A strong vision serves as a compass, guiding us when we feel lost or unsure. It provides a sense of security, knowing that no matter what happens in the short term, we are moving in the right direction. Additionally, vision and purpose give us the courage to take risks. When we are driven by a powerful sense of purpose, we are more willing to step out of our comfort zones and take bold actions. We understand that growth and progress require taking risks and making uncomfortable decisions. With a clear vision and purpose, we are not afraid to fail because we know that failure is just a part of the learning process. We are willing to push through fear and uncertainty because we have a greater understanding of what we are working toward. In the end, vision and purpose are what turn an ordinary person into someone extraordinary. They give us the strength to face adversity with grace, to remain focused on our goals, and to push forward even when the road gets tough. They allow us to rise above the distractions of life and stay true to what really matters. When we have vision and purpose, we become unstoppable because we are not simply moving through life. We are moving with intention, passion, and a deep sense of meaning. The importance of faith in yourself and your journey. Faith is one of the most powerful forces we can possess. It is the foundation upon which we build resilience, determination, and success. Faith in yourself and in your journey is what allows you to face life's challenges with confidence and unwavering belief that you can overcome them. It is easy to lose faith when things aren't going as planned, when setbacks seem overwhelming, or when the path ahead feels unclear. However, faith is not just about believing in positive outcomes. It is about trusting the process, even when the road is tough and the destination seems distant. Having faith in yourself means believing in your abilities, your potential, and your worth, regardless of external circumstances or opinions. It is the confidence that you have the strength to handle whatever comes your way, the intelligence to solve problems, and the creativity to find solutions. Self-faith is crucial because it helps you stay grounded in your own truth, even when others doubt you or when you face uncertainty. When you trust yourself, you are more likely to take risks, push boundaries, and step outside of your comfort zone. Faith in yourself gives you the courage to pursue your dreams, even when the journey is difficult or others tell you it is impossible. Faith in your journey is just as important as faith in yourself. Your journey is unique to you, filled with ups and downs, twists and turns, and moments of triumph and failure. Having faith in your journey means trusting that every experience, no matter how challenging, is a part of the bigger picture. It means understanding that the struggles you face today are preparing you for the success you will experience tomorrow. Faith in your journey requires patience. It requires the ability to see beyond the temporary hardships and focus on the long-term rewards. When you have faith in your journey, you do not give up when things don't go as expected. Instead, you trust that the challenges are there to teach you valuable lessons and that every setback is an opportunity for growth. When you have faith, you develop a mindset that is unshaken by fear or doubt. Fear is one of the greatest barriers to success, and doubt often prevents us from taking the steps necessary to achieve our goals. But faith acts as a shield against fear, providing the assurance that you are capable of handling whatever challenges arise. It helps you push through moments of doubt and confusion, reminding you that you have overcome difficulties before and will do so again. With faith in yourself and your journey, you are able to navigate through life with a sense of purpose and direction, even when obstacles appear in your path. One of the reasons faith is so important is that it gives us a sense of hope. Hope is the belief that things can get better, that our efforts will eventually pay off, and that we can create the life we want. When you have faith, you have hope in abundance. This hope fuels your actions and keeps you moving forward, even when you cannot yet see the full picture. It is easy to feel discouraged when we cannot immediately see the results of our hard work, but faith reminds us that every effort counts, every step is progress, and that our persistence will lead us to our desired outcome. Faith also helps you remain focused on your goals. In a world full of distractions, it is easy to lose sight of what truly matters. But when you have faith, you remain anchored in your purpose. You remember why you started your journey in the first place and why it is worth every ounce of effort. Faith allows you to stay committed to your dreams, even when the process is slow or when things don't unfold exactly as you had imagined. With faith, you develop the patience to stay the course and the wisdom to know that everything happens in its own time. You trust that each moment, each step, is leading you closer to your destination, even if it doesn't always feel that way. In times of difficulty, faith is what helps us keep going. When we feel lost or defeated, faith is the light that guides us through the darkness. It reminds us that the hardships we face are not the end of our story, but rather the beginning of a new chapter. Faith is the belief that no matter how tough life gets, we have the strength to overcome it. It helps us rise from failure, learn from our mistakes, and continue forward with renewed determination. With faith in ourselves and in our journey, we realize that we are never truly alone. We carry with us the strength of our belief, which is always there to support us. Having faith is not a passive state. It is an active choice. It requires daily effort and a commitment to keep believing in yourself, even when things seem uncertain. Faith is nurtured through actions, not just thoughts. It is about consistently showing up for yourself, trusting in your own abilities, and believing that you are worthy of achieving your dreams. The more you invest in your faith, the stronger it becomes, and the more capable you feel of facing whatever challenges come your way. Learning to embrace discomfort as a path to growth. Growth is not comfortable. If it were, everyone would achieve their dreams without breaking a sweat. But true growth, the kind that transforms us and takes us to new heights, often requires us to step outside of our comfort zones. It demands that we embrace discomfort, that we face our fears, and that we push ourselves to do things we would normally avoid. The most successful individuals are those who understand this concept deeply, that discomfort is not an obstacle to be avoided, but a necessary part of the journey. It is in the moments of discomfort that we discover our true potential. The human mind is wired to seek comfort. We are naturally drawn to what feels safe and familiar. When we are in a comfortable situation, there is no stress, no risk, and no uncertainty. However, comfort can also breed stagnation. When we remain in our comfort zones for too long, we stop growing, we stop challenging ourselves, and as a result, we stop learning. It is only when we push ourselves beyond what is comfortable that we can tap into our true capabilities. Whether it is taking on a challenging project at work, facing a personal fear, or simply doing something outside of our usual routine, embracing discomfort is where growth begins. When we choose to step into discomfort, we develop resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to keep going even when things get tough. It is easy to stay strong when everything is going well, but true strength is tested in difficult times. When we face discomfort, we build the mental and emotional muscles needed to navigate life's challenges. Every time we choose to embrace discomfort, we prove to ourselves that we are capable of handling more than we thought possible. This builds our confidence, and over time, we become less afraid of the unknown. We learn to trust ourselves and our abilities, knowing that we can face whatever comes our way. Embracing discomfort also teaches us patience. In a world where instant gratification is often the norm, it is easy to want things to happen quickly and without struggle. But growth doesn't happen overnight. It is a gradual process, one that requires time and effort. When we learn to embrace discomfort, we accept that progress takes time. We stop expecting immediate results and instead focus on the journey. We learn to appreciate the small steps and the lessons that come with each challenge. As we push through discomfort, we also learn to appreciate the process of becoming better, rather than fixating solely on the end result. Discomfort often brings with it the feeling of vulnerability. Vulnerability is uncomfortable, but it is also a gateway to authenticity and deeper connections with others. When we are vulnerable, we allow ourselves to be seen for who we truly are, without the masks or facades we often put up. Embracing discomfort helps us break free from the fear of judgment and rejection, allowing us to show up as our authentic selves.